This summer, I'm saying yes to fun, whimsy, and new experiences. And by me, I mean we. Okay, get in, friends. Hi, friends. Welcome back to the channel. I was motivated to create a summer bucket list or a spring summer bucket list after I watched one of my favorite creators here on YouTube. Her name is Jeranika Maisia, and she was doing a summer bucket list. I think this is something she does every year. I remember her doing it last year, and at the end of the video she encouraged all of us to do the same, and so I decided to take up that challenge because the world is heavy right now. Like, I live in the US, and as long as you're not living under a rock, you know exactly what is happening. So I have decided to plan what I have coined a fun, flirty 40s summer. And it's essentially just like, intentionally curating a list of things that I would like to do throughout the spring and summer months to bring some fun, joy, and whimsy into my life. All right, if you see me looking down, I'm just checking my notes here. So there are going to be 5 pillars to my fun, flirty 40s summer. And that will be wellness and movement, learning something new, that's 2. 3, culture and exploration. 4, personal joy and lifestyle. And 5, social and community. All right, so let's jump right into the first one. So the first one, as I said before, was wellness and movement. And under that pillar, really and truly, I have kind of paused my walks, my exercising, because my rheumatoid arthritis has been flaring so badly. Like, every day I wake up to painful, swollen joints. And while that is still true, it's still happening now, I just want to push past it and jumpstart some kind of fitness regimen. And ultimately, the goal of this is, 1, to just feel better. I have been feeling sluggish and a little bit fat. And no, I didn't say I was fat. I said I felt fat. Mostly because I feel sluggish. But also, I would like to lose 10 pounds. At least 10 pounds, right? Between now and Memorial Day, which is May 25th. So I feel like that's a good 6-week stretch. Today is April 6th. So I think that will give me a good 6 weeks to lose a comfortable amount of weight per week. So I'm not rushing this. And I want to start off again with my hot gal walks. Hopefully right now, I started this morning by getting 20 minutes in, which I will eventually ramp up more and more. It's not because like physically I couldn't do more, but I'm taking it easy on the toes, the ankles, the heel back, all of that, right? Next, under wellness, I would like to also find other activities that are low impact on my joints. So I don't know, maybe water aerobics, yoga, possibly looking into some pickleball, right? I'm not sure how low impact that is, but I'm gonna do my research and see. So the second pillar is learning something new. And underneath that, piggybacking from the last thing I said, is to learn pickleball. So I recently found, and by recently I mean like yesterday, I saw them offering a class through the Broward School community at a local high school here in my community in Coral Springs. And it's for like $80 for a 7-week course, which is perfect because it starts this week and would take me all the way through May 21st, which is right around the time I'm looking to have hopefully lost that 10 pounds. I just don't know. Is $70 too much? $80 actually. And a part of me feel like I was baited and switched because I almost put it in my cart and checked out last night. But they initially said the class was $59, and then just as I was about ready to check out, it changed. They added an extra $20. I forgot what that was, admin or something. Like, what kind of admin would need to learn pickleball? But anyway, I'm gonna ask around at the office today and see what, the more experienced people think, but I'm leaning towards doing that. And then after that, then I'll be able to maybe find some pickleball courts and get more active there. Another thing I want to add to my learn something new is floral arrangement. Now, if you follow me on socials, every 2 weeks, I, always do like a nice little floral arrangement. I get my fresh flowers from Trader Joe's, sometimes at Publix, and I do a nice little floral arrangement, one for my kitchen counter, one for my living room coffee table. And I really just love seeing fresh flowers in my space. It brings me so much joy. But honestly, I'm pretty much just buying a few flowers that I like. I don't really know if they pair together or not. I just like them and put them together. I would love to do some kind of floral arrangement workshop, you know what I mean? To make sure that what I'm doing is right, how to cut them, how to prepare them, how to do all of that. That's definitely something I want to learn to do. And the second thing is I want to take a cocktail making class. Now, I've always been interested in bartending and making cocktails when I was much younger. And I got to do a little bit of that when I went to Puerto Rico back in 2024. I went to the Bacardi factory and I tried out a part of the tour that I paid for. You did a cocktail making class and you learned to make 2 of their signature cocktails, and that was really a lot of fun. I'll see if I can pop up some pictures of me or videos of me doing that class if I still have them. But I just really want to do that while I'm leaning towards, consuming less alcohol. I am sure I can find ways to turn these cocktails into mocktails, or maybe the class that I find will be a mocktail class. You never know, but I'll keep you guys posted. Right. On that. Next on my curriculum will be personal joy and lifestyle. And of course, this is still a fashion channel, so a fun flirty 40s summer is gonna need a fun flirty 40s wardrobe. We're gonna need the attire to go to all the places that I want to go to or to do all the things I want to do. Part of signing up for pickleball is yes, I want to lose 10 pounds, but of course I do want to wear my cute little pickleball outfits, right? And as we go through the list, and I mentioned other things that I want to do, you'll see that it's gonna require a certain kind of wardrobe. Next thing I want to do this spring summer is read 5 books. Now, I think I mentioned it at the top of the year. I have a goal of reading 24 books this year. From the beginning of 2026 to now, I've read 6 books. I'm on my 7th book, which is Becoming by Michelle Obama. And I'm confident that between now and the end of summer, I will read more than 5, but the goal is to read 5. After I finish reading Becoming, I want to get some fun, flirty summer books, because most of the books I have now are a little bit serious. And I want to be like, some nice romance, some Stella got her groove back type of vibe. So I'm going to be doing my research on that and see if I can find those titles at my library, because like I said, I don't want to be buying anything. Another thing I want to be doing under this pillar of personal joy and lifestyle is to take up junk journaling. So I did start scrapbooking at the top of the year in January, and I do enjoy scrapbooking, but I want to kind of parlay that into junk journaling. I want to journal more, and I find that I'm not as committed to journaling just regularly, and I find that if I add the junk journaling, which is adding like pictures, little trinkets from like my day-to-day outings, and since I now have this curriculum, I feel like I will have the trinkets to add to my daily journal post. And it don't even have to be daily, it could be weekly, we'll see, but that is something I want to get into. Last but not least, under this pillar is I want to do more solo dates, particularly solo vacations. Now, something that I started doing back in 2022, like right after COVID and people started traveling again, is Vacations. Now, what's a vacation, you may ask? That is really where anybody can. For most people, vacation is like, oh, going to a city near where you live and spending the day, or you can do it in your city, like, be a tourist in your city. And my vacations were always to like a new state. So I've done vacations to like Dallas, Texas, where I caught an early flight here from Fort Lauderdale Airport in South Florida, flew to Dallas, got in at like 9 in the morning, have coffee and breakfast at a cute coffee shop, did a little sightseeing, saw like the JFK Memorial, went to our RH rooftop for brunch and stuff like that. I've also done it in New Orleans. I have done it in Nashville, Chicago. I've done quite a few. The last one I did was Chicago back in 2023, and then I just kind of fell off. Life started lifing. So I want to get back into that. Not sure how much of that I'll be able to do with everything that's going on in the world and gas prices, which I'm sure have already started affecting fuel costs. So, airline tickets are going to go up, but we'll see. We're gonna move right into my next pillar, which is culture and exploration. So you see that ties in with the solo dates and solo vacations, because I want to like explore more museums. I have always loved art and I'm very interested in learning. I love culture, so I want to take in a little bit more of that. Last October, I went to New York. I went to the Met to see the Dandyism exhibit at the Met, and I really loved it. And I'm sorry I didn't have more time to take in other exhibitions. So I would love to go back to New York to do like, go see the Guggenheim or, the MoMA and stuff like that. Like, I really do love museums, and every time I visit a new city, I try, even on my vacations, to sneak in a museum visit. Like, I've done vacations in Atlanta, Georgia, and I've went to the High Museum. I've been to LA. That wasn't a vacation. I went to a museum there. Even in New Orleans, I went to the Voodoo Museum. So I do like learning about cultures, other people's cultures, Black culture, Black art. And that's definitely something I want to do more of this spring, summer. Speaking of culture, another thing I want to do is taking like more live shows, like Broadway shows. Growing up as a child, my mother always used to take my sister and I, if you're Jamaican, to the Ward Theatre in downtown Kingston to see like pantomime. We also saw a lot of shows at a little theater in Crossroads, and so I've pretty much grown up watching live performances, and that's something I really like. So I want to do more of that. Last summer, I went to see the Stranger Things play on Broadway. That was my first Broadway show. Really loved it, and I would love to do more of that. It doesn't have to always be in New York. I'm gonna check around and see if there's any local shows, either in my community or, close proximity. One thing I would love to see is The Devil Wears Prada with Vanessa Williams, but that is currently showing in London. Who knows, maybe we might manifest a trip to London this spring, summer. We will see. And then another thing I would love to do with culture and exploration, trying to tie these to, it probably won't be a vacation, but I would love to experience a baseball game. Not the Miami Marlins, please, no. But for sure, I would love to like visit Fenway Park and see the Boston Red Sox, or maybe the New York, what are they? Is it the Yankees or the Giants, or is it both? I think it's both, so I'll see, one of them. But I would love to take in a baseball, just to say I've done it. But I really prefer to do it in Boston because Fenway Park has such a rich history, so I'll be getting 2 for 1, right? It's like a museum, but then I'll also be getting like a baseball game. So yeah. And then last but not least, on my summer bucket list is social and community. And under this is The first one is that I would really love to host a games night. And growing up, or should I say, when I was younger, like in my mid 20s, early 30s, something my sister and I used to always love to do with our friends, and we would do it at different friends' houses and ours as well, was host game nights like Scrabble nights, Uno, Lude, all of those things. And it was always fun, you know, games, food, drinks, all of that. And since now that I live on my own, I've been wanting to host game nights, but then I've gotten so used to being in my apartment by myself and enjoying my space. It's like, can I tolerate having people in my space for an extended period of time? Because games night, I'm sure we're talking like 2+ hours, right? At least 2 to 4 hours. So I don't know. I'm 50-50 there. I want to host it because one, I would love to, like, you know, make new friends, and there are a few acquaintances I wouldn't mind inviting, but also do I want them in my space? You know what? Let's table that and move on to the next one. Also, under social and community, I would love to attend a networking event, particularly a networking event for creators. I have done that before. I did it twice back in 2023. I went to a Create Cultivate networking event in Austin, Texas, and I also went to another of their events in LA. But I feel like back then when I did the first one, it was free. The second one was, they had a little price tag on it, which I didn't mind paying for the value that I got. But I feel like now they were just testing the waters with that, because now the prices are like $5,000. So I'm looking for a free or affordable creator networking event. I've seen where YouTube has some. YouTube, if you're listening, I know I'm a small creator, but you know, invite your girl somewhere. All right, I'm looking to do some of that this summer. Last but not least, I may have to table this one. I was thinking about doing like a girls brunch or a Mother's Day brunch, something like that, like pre-Mother's Day, because I know everybody will have plans, but again, it's going to, you know what, maybe I don't have to invite people to my house. So that one I may be able to do. So maybe I can host a brunch, like do the invites, make the reservations, and do it somewhere where we can have fun, and then everybody goes their own way and they're not in my apartment. So that will also be tabled. But I do want to get more social. I do want to meet more people. I am looking for friends. It's very hard to make friends at 48, let me tell you. So, but I want to try. I want to try this spring summer. And that is it, you guys. That is my spring summer bucket list. I'm going to encourage you to make your own, because at least, even if you don't get to hit everything on the list, even if you get to do half or even a quarter of it, it's better than just going to work, coming home, going to work, coming home, doing chores, paying bills. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get off the hamster wheel and just bring a little fun and joy back into my life. So yeah, if you made it to this part of the video, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one.